Hello, Guffanti. Welcome to Guffanti Brunettes.
My name's Emily.
My name's Lady Gaga.
And we've got Pete on sound. It's me, Gaga, and Pete today.
How cool would it be if you had Lady Gaga on the show?
I mean, it would be pretty earth-shattering.
No, we went to a wedding this past weekend, and there was a...
Did you see pics, Pete, from the wedding? Did
It
you
was-
see it? Yeah.
it was-
Pete texted us. He gave us the last episode, and he was like, here's the episode, happy wedding.
It was so much fun. At the
So much
end of
fun.
the wedding, after there was a man who died on the floor. Do you remember that?
Don't say that. He didn't die. I
He
hope
di-
to God he didn't die.
He didn't die. He was just like...
He was, you know, when like,
He was
there's
out
always
of
like
it.
a middle-aged man who like falls.
Is there always?
He fell like down the stairs.
He fell
and
down
there
the-
was an ambulance.
Did he fall down the stairs,
But
or
he
did
was
he
awake.
pass out?
No, he was awake.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Who did I tell it to? And they
As
were like,
we
did he just want to ride home?
I have a picture of it, and that's so fucked up.
Super fucked.
Someone saw me taking the
You
picture,
took
and they
a
were like,
picture of
"Yeah."
him?
Someone saw me taking the picture, and they were like, "Listen, Sophia, you're really funny, but like that's not funny. You shouldn't be doing something
You
like
should
that."
take a photo.
I couldn't even help it. My drunk
What-
mind.
what
thought-
was it for, though?
Something prompted me that and told me.
You were like,
something
snap.
in my brain was like, "Take a picture of this." But anyway,
He was awake. He's okay.
yeah. But so we were waiting for our Uber, and Emily's trying to jump into a water fountain. I don't remember if you. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that.
I didn't
And
until you just said it.
I decided to flirt with the valet guy, and I love meeting new people and just like pretending that I'm somebody else. So
I always do
yeah.
that.
So his first thing was like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I'm a singer-songwriter. And then he was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, I actually just recorded this song.
We're
And
in a parking garage in North New Jersey, and we're standing
I
with
was
two
like-
ballet guys
I was like,
at
yeah,
2
I
in the
recorded this
morning.
song. So first song that comes up like on my phone was the song by Lady Gaga.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? It's like, why do you look so good in those jeans?
What did I do?
Yeah. And then he was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is you? Oh my God. He was
Obviously,
like, and
he's-
now he's on Spotify, and he's like, I want to look you up. What's your name? And I was like, okay, type this in. L-A Lady Gaga. That's my
Yeah.
name. Lady Gaga. So he was like, so he texted me. I ended up giving him my number, and he's been calling me Lady Gaga the whole time.
But I really wonder, like, there's no way he actually
don't-
doesn't know who Lady Gaga is.
oh, no. We know he knows who Lady Gaga is. He definitely got a laugh out of it.
But he really thought you sang that song
He
at first.
really thought nobody knows that song.
Nobody knows
any
that song.
straight guy.
Do you know that song, Pete? From A Star Is Born? Well, he's seen the movie.
Well, Pete knows the song. Most guys don't
if you
know the
hadn't
song.
seen the movie, would you know it? Yeah.
Any guy from New Jersey doesn't know that song.
Yeah, a valet guy
A
from New
valet
Jersey
guy from New Jersey doesn't know
with
that
a
song.
chin strap. Did he have a chin strap?
I don't remember. I just
I
remember,
remember seeing you talking to him, and I was like, Sophie,
I
you're going to wake
remember
up and realize he's
thinking.
not.
I remember
what you think
thinking he
is.
was so attractive, and you
From the Uber window, I was like, Fee, not worth it, I
You,
promise.
Rosette, and Cherie said no, like at the same time. You're
But
like,
can
no.
we read the text messages out loud because they're actually really
no,
funny?
The texts were really funny.
So he came out to the Uber window when we were about to leave. It's like 2:15 in the morning.
it was super funny,
and he was like, well, can I get your number? And then she was like, yeah. So she gave him her number. Do you just have the text?
Emily, hold on. You have to wait
But why are you going through your photos?
because it's in my photos. I took a screenshot of it.
Oh, I think, wouldn't it be easier to go to the messages
Oh yeah, you're right.
with the guy? And now Sophia's phone background is Lady Gaga.
It is
because
Lady Gaga
that's-
because
she was
I'm
like-
Lady Gaga.
She changed her phone background picture, and she was like, it's not even a picture of Lady Gaga. It's just a photo of me.
Here
It
it
makes
is.
sense.
He wrote, "Get home safe, Lady Gaga." And I said, "Thank you, BB." And he said, "You're welcome. So I know your stage name, but what is your real name?" And I said, "What? You don't believe Gaga?" He said, "Of course I believe you." I just need a name to save your number in my phone. I can't save it as the beautiful Lady Gaga Lavalade. And then I didn't answer. And then he wrote, "Hey, Lady Gaga, if you want to have a great time this weekend, then we should get together for dinner and drinks. Which day should work for you?"
Wow, guys will really sometimes do anything for some puss.
Well, with Lady
He'll
Gaga.
just deal with a girl who's going around believing she is Lady Gaga. If it means he'll get laid. That's like what he is.
No,
He's allowing you.
I think he knew I was a star, and we got to be careful because he listens to the podcast
But
now.
he doesn't even know your real name. He's just allowing himself to get to know a girl and calling her Lady Gaga.
I know, but I think it's so cool that he thinks my name is Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Like,
he
I feel like
doesn't.
such a mystery. I always do this when I
There's
go out.
no way
My
he-
other name was Alaska when I used to go out. I'd be like, my name is
Like
Alaska.
Maggie Rogers?
Like, no, like the drag queen, Alaska.
I don't know who that is.
I would just tell people my name was Alaska.
When I lived in Italy and I would go outside of Italy, like on trips to like Hungary or France or Germany or whatever.
Like you traveled a lot, it sounds like.
I did. I would
Cultured.
always say my name was Sophia. And I was Sophia.
She was always thinking about me.
And I actually went on a date with a guy one time who I met out, and the whole time and saved in his phone, I was Sophia. And so he really believed. And to this day, like I got a text from him like a couple months ago, like "Ciao, Sophia, how are you?" Like, and
oh my
they think my name is
gosh.
Sophia, and that was my alter ego. I went around as Sophia.
So it's a thing that girls do. Were you thinking
Yeah.
about me a little bit, or do you just like the name?
To me,
Not at all.
Sophia,
all.
Sofia, because I'm picturing the F, it
That's-
actually sounds completely different to me than Sophia.
I always said that Sophia with an F is the fat way to spell Sophia.
I disagree. I see Sophia F as like Italian on the ocean on an
So
island.
what you're saying is you don't like my name.
I love your name. I think of you as Fee.
I
You're
am
Fee.
Fee.
in my
That's
head.
me. That's me. That's me.
Fee.
No,
I
you're
don't think
totally
I've called
right.
you. Unless I'm like yelling at you, I'm like Sophia. You can't. You
So
know?
I'm allergic to dust.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten an allergy test?
No, I really. Have you got an allergy test? Well, you're lactose intolerant, right, Pete?
They
No,
don't
you
like,
didn't
no,
yeah, that you don't need a test
so
for.
with an
Yeah.
allergy test, they prick you with 8 different things. And with this one, it was just like external factors, environmental factors that they pricked me with. So I found out that I'm allergic to 3 things. It's dogs, cats, and dust. And I've been having so many headaches and like, I've been like really not feeling well, getting like just post-nasal drip my whole life. I've talked about this on the podcast before.
She can spit out orange juice.
They
spit
put a
and
little,
suck it
they
back up.
injected me with a little bit of dust, and oh boy, did my arm blow the fuck up.
I know, I saw the photo.
So now I have to like go into places and be like,
Is it dusty?
If I could feel it, I could feel if it's dusty, and I'll be like, oh no. You're going to have to clean your dirty ass house. It's dusty. Like, what am I supposed to do? Carry like a little dustpan in my back pocket?
Yeah, I mean, I got news for you. My apartment definitely has got a lot of dust.
So every time I do Guffanti, I'm going to have like that's why I'm like burping and coughing every time I'm doing Guffanti.
They can't give you like a
He told me, well, I'm
something
like,
for it?
I've been having so many issues. Like, I've been feeling so sick. And he was like, you know what you're going to do? And he wrote it down on a piece of paper. Like, he was going to give me, like, the solution to all my problems. He wrote down Allegra and Flonase.
Oh.
I was like, dude, I waited 3 months to get this appointment, and you're going to tell me Allegra and Flonase is going to fix it? I even got a CAT scan.
How are you even supposed to know when you're about to encounter dust?
I don't know. And he was like, it's a really hard one, you know,
I mean,
having
you
a
live
dust
with
allergy.
cats, so that's an easy fix.
Yeah, but the way it was, like, they pricked me with like 8 of these different things, and then I got hives, like in where it was dogs. I got a small hive. I got a big hive for cats. I got a huge hive for dust.
But wouldn't anybody like react badly to dust?
That's
if you
what I.
breathe
Well,
in
I
dust,
asked
you
him.
sneeze.
No, I asked him. I was like, does dust affect everyone this way? I was like, does everyone get a hive for dust? He was like, no. No, that's like you're allergic to dust.
See,
it's an
part of me-
allergy.
Part of me feels like if I go to the allergy doctor, they're going to tell me that I'm allergic to some shit, and it's going to make me more allergic because now I know.
I
You know
remember
what I
when
mean?
I worked at Pretty Kitty, though, one of my jobs was to dust the ceilings, and I remember dust falling on my face, and I was like, fine. But I was
That's
super
what I
allergic to
mean.
dust when they injected me with it. You can't inject someone with dust.
You can't, yeah, if they injected the. I just feel like I have a friend of mine who went to get an allergy test, and she found out she was allergic to like a bunch of different nuts, but like mildly. And so now she avoids all those things, and she's like, well, I can't have that because there's blah, blah, blah nuts in it. And I'm like, you've been eating them your whole life. And now that a doctor, like, part of me thinks part of it is your brain going like, we are allergic, and so it will react harder.
No, because if you get the test and you actually break out in a hive, like you get an allergic reaction, like my arm was super itchy.
I feel like if I got that test, I'd find out I'm allergic to some things I didn't know I was, and then things that are in my life always.
Like,
Well, that's like our friend who was at...
psoriasis is not an allergy thing, actually.
It's not an
just
allergy
a
thing.
skin condition.
It's a skin condition
Yeah.
that I live with. I live with psoriasis.
She does, but her bangs cover it.
My bangs do cover it. It's on my hairline. It's on my neck. And it gets on my body sometimes.
Yeah, but yours isn't like that bad. I've seen really bad psoriasis.
Yeah, no, mine's not that bad.
Yeah.
Psoriasis is like eczema's little sister.
When I used to wax people, I would see crazy psoriasis on
Really?
people's vagina. Crazy psoriasis. It's like almost scaly. It's very scaly.
Oh, that makes me feel
it's
better.
like a gray tinge to it. It's really
Ooh.
bad. And then
Fish.
they would always
Fish.
Yeah.
Fish on fish.
Yeah, it looks like a bronzino. Bronzino with the skin on.
Bronzino wax. Oh my God. Well, our friend whose sister's wedding it was, she's allergic to the cold.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she breaks out. So when I was doing everyone's makeup, the bride was really like nervous for the wedding, so she kept the room very cold, and her poor sister is allergic to cold.
And I relate to that because I was like, I get why you keep it cold in here, because any little bit of sweat on your wedding day and you're going to be upset.
Well, the last episode of Guffanti, we talk about how my sweat doesn't smell bad. I was sweating profusely because I wore this green sweatshirt and I saw like an armpit stain.
But to me, it's not even about the smell of sweat. It's like, I hate
just
like right now
being
I'm sweating
wet.
And I hate being wet.
Being wet, it's really embarrassing. Gabby's allergic to grass.
A lot of people are allergic to you know. We snorted Vyvanse at the wedding.
Oh my gosh, that was a great time. I have never done that much Vyvanse.
It was so,
I usually just
it was such a sick need for something more than alcohol.
Let's explain though, because I usually I woke up very early for this wedding. I had to do 8 girls. It was like, you saw me. I was grinding. Like I had to do it like nonstop.
Yeah, it was really cool.
For almost like 4 hours.
I got to see you working in action, and it was really fun.
I was so glad that you did, because I felt so cool that you were watching me like while I was at work.
I was literally sitting right next to you and providing entertainment for everyone else.
But I was exhausted, and then we got invited to the wedding afterwards, and I was like, I'm gonna have to do Vyvanse for this wedding. If I'm gonna stay up and not just pass out. Like, I've face planted on tables before, like just from being tired, waking up early, and then trying to go out and like, you know, work and then have my free time, like try and balance the two. So I did Vyvanse. We snorted probably like the equivalent to 100 milligrams of Vyvanse. And that's not something that we should be bragging about, but it was a good time. We watched the sunrise.
I remember that we got back from the wedding, and we had gone the whole wedding without it.
Yeah.
And at the wedding, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it till the end of this ceremony.
I was telling you how tired I was.
I know,
you kept assuring me we were going to get to bed.
And then the wedding, we were dancing the night away.
Yeah.
My titties were out, and there was a little 6-year-old girl there who was the daughter of one of the bridesmaids. Adriana. We shouldn't say her name.
That's okay.
They don't know the last name. Yeah. Okay. And she's like 6 years old, so she's like just at the age where she's starting to get to know like bodies and be curious about bodies. And that was the exact language that her aunt used with us, of like, we took her to the bathroom with us when we were plastered. What a mistake. We take this girl to the bathroom because she kept coming up to me because I was like her favorite for the night. You know how little kids pick a favorite and they cling on?
She'll remember this for the rest of her life.
Yeah, so I was her favorite for the night. And so she came up to me at one point and was like, can we dance? Come on, let's dance. And I kept being like, in a minute. And then I was like, I have to pee. Hold on. And she was like, oh, I do too. And I was like, all right, let's go. So me and her went to go to the bathroom. And this is why don't put me around kids. I take this little 6-year-old girl into the bathroom stall with me and Sophia. We're each in one pieces, meaning we have to take our whole outfit off in order to piss. We got butt-ass naked in front of this 6-year-old girl who was literally just like staring the entire, and we were like talking, we were like, Adriana, is this okay? And she was like, like we don't even know if
she's seen her mother naked yet. Like, it took a while for me to actually see my mother naked.
I know, and you were on the toilet. I remember because like there's some maternal.
I had
instinct.
my tits out. Like, oh my god, that was really screwed up.
I had a little bit of a maternal instinct while it was happening, and you were on the toilet butt naked, and I was like, Fee, this is like so bad, and you're like, am. Like screaming some shit. And I was like, this girl is getting traumatized right now.
Oh my gosh. And if she wonders, like, say she's a lesbian when she's older. We don't know, but maybe she will be. We'll be the reason why.
No, you can't control that. Like, that's not a kind of, you're born or you're not.
Well, some people are born lesbians. Definitely. Most people.
But we might have, if she was on the spectrum.
Some people that have a traumatic experience that leads to lesbianism.
Or they have an experience like that.
We also talked about how we're all lesbians.
Yeah, we did also talk about how
we're all lesbians. Every single, so it was like our high school friend, or 2 of our high school friends, and we were all just looking in the mirror with our shirts off, our nipples out. We have a like a picture, and we were like, we all talked about like how we were interested in girls and guys, but like,
don't all girls at one point in the night whip their titties out in the mirror and all look at each other's titties?
And I guarantee you, there's going to be a lot of listeners who are like, no.
No, I think people are going to be like, right?
I know a lot. So like, you know, I know a
We
lot
have
of my
photos of all
my
of us just-
friends, my other friends who like I work with. I will tell you right now that they never do that.
Well, can I tell you something? I have a couple thoughts I want to say.
And they think I'm crazy for the way I am, you know? Like how out there I am with tits.
I'm out there with tits. My tits
tits
were out
out.
all night.
Yeah.
There's a photo of this girl. Wait, so there's a photo. After we got back from the bathroom, we said to the aunt who's in our grade from high school, it was her sister's wedding, and it's her other sister's kid. We said to the aunt, we were like, I said to her, I was like, hey, we just like took her to the bathroom and like kind of got naked her in front of her. I was like, is that okay? And
Did
then
we do that?
I said that to
I must
Cherie.
have been blackout.
I knew you were because on the toilet you were really mumbling.
I'm always blackout.
And this 6-year-old is in the stall just like staring at us. So I said to Shreya, I was like, is that okay that we did that? And she was like, we stopped getting changed in front of her because she's curious now.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no. And then so I took a picture, me and Sophia were taking pictures with this kid, and I took a picture of the kid with Sophia. And in the photo, Sophia's looking right into the camera, and you can follow the little kid's eye line. It's right at my chest.
She's like, what are
If
those?
you look at her in the picture, she's got the biggest smile on her face, and her eyes are like 5 inches below the camera.
But your tits were really out.
Areola was
everyone was looking at your tits, and I loved it.
No, it was great.
That was a killer outfit.
It was, but I had to really watch my areola because it was ready to.
No, I was
peek
so,
out
and you
there.
were like, should I wear this outfit? I'm like, well, do you have anything else to wear?
I did, but I knew I wanted that to be the outfit.
It had to be the outfit.
It got a lot of attention.
Yeah, no, it was the best
But
outfit.
the other thing I was gonna say is I feel like I think first of all that a lot of girls when they're drunk at some point whip out their titties to each other. Like definitely.
I think
isn't that Pete? Wouldn't you say like a stereotype that a lot of girls when they get drunk like whip their tits out? Right? Like in settings, but especially amongst only like if you're like a girl sleepover, everyone compares titties.
I don't think that's not everybody.
I think it is, and I'll also tell you why.
Yeah, give me a reason.
Women and men are raised in a world where the female body is objectified, and we're taught that it's like the most beautiful thing, and it's amazing.
So
and
now it's like we're coming out and we're like, we're free to do this. We can do this. It's like a free the nip thing. Hashtag free the nip.
That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
That women and men are subject to the male gaze.
Okay.
Do you know what the male gaze is?
No.
Laura Mulvey's The Male Gaze.
No.
You know this,
Can
Pete?
you explain
Male
this? Because
gaze?
I don't know what this is.
Cinema. It's like a film theory.
Oh.
Right? Isn't it a film theory? Or is it like an everything thing? It's like an everything. Yeah, it's a broad theory, but I learned it through a film class. So the male gaze is this theory that because of movies and TV and like all media imagery from like ever, like since like 20th century, I guess, is when, or even before, no, like think about like paintings of Jesus and Mary, like women have always been the subject of the camera. Think about in movies, the man's head turns and then you see the woman.
That's true.
And so this is not something that's verbally taught to us, but we all grow up in the same world where we learn through movies and TV and pop culture and musicians and music videos that women are, I just grabbed my tits. Women are something to look at. And so even though we are women ourselves.
We grew up with that.
We
so
like to look at each other.
We like to look at each other.
When I was little, and I used to have
How
this
much-
conversation. Wait. And I used to have this conversation when we were little because there was one day in 7th grade, and I'll bleep her name out to save her
No,
the
she
embarrassment.
would love to hear it.
No, I'm going to save her the embarrassment.
All right.
Because she would get embarrassed by this. In 7th grade, we were at my house one time in my room, and there was nothing gay about this, but like we took our shirts off and just like kept our hands on each other's boobs and like examined each other, not talking, not laughing, not smiling, just like kind of unspokenly examined each other.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we both kind of like, are we gay? But it's like, no.
I think-
like we're just like obsessed. We had this conversation at a sleepover all together.
Yeah,
where we
we did.
I love tits.
Oh yeah, no. We all watch lesbian porn. All
That's
women
true.
watch lesbian porn.
See, because it's hotter when they're lesbians.
No,
and-
it's true. You're right. You're absolutely right. You totally changed my perspective about it. The
That's
male
cool.
gaze. You
I
were
changed
able
your
to do that. You did.
Wow.
Yeah, you totally changed my perspective.
Well, oh, cool.
That's really
That's
cool.
an
that you were
NYU
able-
degree for you.
Yeah. No, that was amazing.
Thank you.
So I really want to start smoking pot more, and there's no one No, I can't find any dealers in the area. Like, there's no dealers in New Jersey.
Why do you want to start smoking pot more?
Well, I just think it's something that'll make it's easier for me to fall asleep when there's pot around, you know? Like, I become a little more creative when I smoke pot.
Yeah.
I like to be, like, alone and smoke pot. But in New Jersey, when you're looking for pot, like, people, like, I can't find a dealer. I can only find people who want to smoke pot with me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You should buy it when you're here.
I should do that. But I
could
was
get
trying.
weed
I was
anywhere.
trying.
Yeah, what are the laws
There
in New
are
Jersey?
real. So you can get a medical card, but it's very hard to get one. There's like some doctors that you can go
that's
to.
already New Jersey's on it already?
You can, but it's like really for cancer
didn't know
patients.
that.
Like it's really for cancer patients. Like you can't just go like, and you know how in
So weed is
California,
legal everywhere.
You can't like in California, like
You can buy it.
You could just be like, I have anxiety, and they'll give it to you. Like you can't do that in New Jersey. There's some doctors.
No, in California you can just go buy it. You don't have to like have a reason, right?
No, you need a medical card. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's recreational now. It's legal.
No, I think you need a medical. I really want to
legal.
look this up.
Look it up.
Can we
People
look it up? 'Cause I'm
it's
usually-
recreational in California now,
feel like I'm
and
right.
Massachusetts.
Okay, well, I think I'm right about this. Well, anyway, I tried to steal from Gabby's ex-husband to be. Pete, what is it?
That's such a sad name. Ex-husband to be.
She said I asked her permission. She was like, "You can say that," you know, like
Ex-husband
it's her
to be.
ex-husband to be, and he has pounds and pounds of weed.
Wait, but
So-
you could say that as either her ex-husband to be or her ex-husband.
her soon-to-be ex-husband.
Yeah.
Her soon-to-be ex-husband.
Yeah.
So I've been going to her house. You know, the vibe is totally different because we're in the midst of a
getting a
divorce.
divorce,
That's why I
yeah.
had to move out. I was like, I can't be there anymore.
What is
Um,
it?
I can tell you what states have
Recreational?
recreation.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the states with recreational
First,
weed.
tell me if I was right, though.
You can get it. You don't need a medical card to get it in these states.
Okay.
Okay.
California,
What's wrong?
Nevada, Oregon, Colorado, Washington, Alaska, Michigan,
Whoa.
Vermont, Maine, and Massachusetts.
That's like 10 states. Was it 10?
Oh. So what states can you have a medical card? Like,
Well-
do you need a medical card? And then what states is it like off limits?
Looks like a lot of states have. Well, it's kind of different. For New Jersey, medical is legal.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Need that.
Ohio, medical is legal.
But medical meaning what? Like,
You need like a card given to you by a doctor.
so you have to have like
The doctor can prescribe you
weed?
weed
Oh, wow.
for, it's typically anxiety stuff.
But I bet doctors in New Jersey, you need like a good reason. For
You
them
need
to
a good reason.
Unless you find a good doctor.
My doctor said that he's trying to get, because they have to get like a medical license.
License to prescribe weed.
Yeah, so he's trying to do that, and I'm gonna be all over that once he does.
If people didn't hear what Pete just said, there's like 10 states, including California and Massachusetts and Nevada and Alaska and Oregon and everything, that have legalized recreational weed, and Colorado. Yeah, I knew that because so many comedians I know have jokes of like, so I went to Colorado and like.
So it's totally recreational there. So
Yeah.
how come my
But-
cousin said that he needed to get a card
for New Jersey,
for California?
it used to be that, and
So
then
it just changed.
No, when he was there, it changed.
The recreational dispensaries are like few and far between in a lot of states.
So it's
Yeah.
hard to find a recreational store. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I mean, either way, it's like I feel like it's very rare nowadays to be somewhere and like get busted for weed unless you're selling it.
well,
Like for smoke. Have you ever heard of
my
someone in New York
brother,
City
my
getting
brother
caught
was in
smoking
juvie
weed?
for weed.
But how many years ago? Who? Oh, Will Banks?
Yeah.
Oh, really? How recent?
We were like in Central Park and we got stopped by the cops.
That's
You
so
got
fucked up.
stopped?
We all got stopped because he was
Did you go to
Wait.
Did you go to juvie, Pete,
no,
Wait, when was this? He got a fine.
or like jail?
When was this?
like a few months ago.
Oh my gosh,
shit.
a fine in New
I
York?
smoke weed on the street so casual.
You gotta be
But Was it
careful.
a joint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have a bag of more weed?
See, I mean, like, I feel like everyone walks around the street with
My brother had
pens.
pounds.
Okay, and when was this?
This was a while ago. This was
Yeah.
probably like when I was in elementary school.
Weed
Yeah.
was not cool, like, with the government back
Yeah.
then. Nowadays, I feel like it's, like, expected. It's just so much, there's a different perspective on weed now.
Yeah.
So you want to start smoking it more.
I do want to start smoking it more. I was trying to steal from, Gabby's soon to be ex-husband, and
Yeah.
I put it in a little, like Elvis's, the dog's little
Why
poop
would
bag.
you steal?
Well, because it's going to be your ex-husband, and it's like, fuck him,
Right.
and he has so much of it. It's like share. And like
Right.
when I was living there,
He would give it to you?
He would give it to me. So I was like, I'm going to take this. Is that terrible?
No.
Yeah. No, I think that I needed it. So I put it in one of Elvis's poop bags. And then Gabby, I left it there. Like, I was already stoned from stealing and smoking so much of his weed that I left it there. Gabby goes to walk Elvis the dog, and she takes the poop bag because I left it on her counter, and she sticks her hand in just like a handful of weed because I literally took the whole jar. And she was like, I was holding a poop encrust, like weed encrusted shit.
Oh no! You wasted so much weed.
I know. I didn't mean to. I meant to take it home with me.
it wasn't yours in the first place, but so not
I guess
really
that's
a loss.
like my karma for trying to steal
Instant
it.
karma.
Well, now I'm gonna get weed here.
So why do you want to be smoking more? Because you want to be more creative and like have a better time.
I just want to
in life.
I just think that yeah.
I mean, I have my pen here. We could smoke it after we're done.
I just like to smoke weed. I've
Actually,
always been a
though,
stoner, and then after
vaping-
my relationship with with can't say his name.
I'll bleep it.
Yeah, bleep it. I couldn't do it because he hated the smell of it. Like
I actually left his name on in the other episode.
it doesn't really matter. And
No
then
last name though, so who cares?
He would sleep with like literally nose plugs because he couldn't stand the smell of it in his
Of
nose.
weed?
So I just completely
So what would he
stopped
mouth
doing it.
breathe?
It's just a mouth breather.
Ouch, sore throat.
No, it was a nose plug here.
Oh.
For snoring. But he was like, I can't stand the smell, and it helps me not smell it.
Oh my god! Come on, grow up.
Annoying.
It's weed.
It's
my mom. Whenever she smells weed, she's like, "Do you smell a skunk?" And I'm like, "Mom, it's weed."
you're
And
like,
she's like,
"Yes."
That's not what weed smells like." But she's gotten so accustomed to it that the other day we were taking something to Ryan's apartment downtown, and we were walking up the stairs, and she was like, "I smell. It's weed, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Mom. There's no skunk
She's
in the middle of
finally
New York
catching
City."
on. She's finally catching on.
I remember when we were at X Factor, and like when I was 16. We were staying in this hotel in California. You know about X Factor, right, Pete?
Oh my God,
Do
Emily
you
was
not
on
know
X
about
Factor.
X Factor?
You didn't know.
Yeah, the singing show. Okay.
And then
So-
Emily was on it.
No, I a lot of times I never know if, whatever. It's so long ago and it's such a weird factoid, but when people find that, they're like, what? So it's usually like a topic that comes up. But anyway, when I was at X Factor, I was living with my mom out in California because, I was under 18 and she's my guardian. And we were staying at this hotel called the Grafton, and it's like right on Sunset Boulevard across from Pink Dot and like right across from the Comedy Store, like trashy
there.
area. And the Comedy Store, have you?
No, I don't know where that is.
You were being sarcastic. Okay. And so we were staying there, and every night we'd go to sleep and like fall asleep to someone else having sex on another floor, like always reeked of weed. And I was 16, but I obviously had gotten high before. And so she would always be like, she would complain to like the hotel staff of like, I don't know if you guys have a skunk problem outside. And I'd be like, Mom, you were not born yesterday. Like that's when, when you're like, does my mom know everything or does she know nothing? And that's when I was like, oh, you know nothing.
Well, she must have. If you'd never smoked weed before, you wouldn't know that it smells
But
like a skunk.
She's totally smoked weed. Actually, no, she told me there was
Has
one
she
time-
smoked weed before, though?
Yeah, she
I don't
tells
know
me the
if Ellie
story.
has.
There's one experience she had that was really funny that she tells a story about. But it's like so funny because my dad's the same way where like he'll say to me sometimes when we get on the topic of like being bad or whatever, he'll be like, Emily, you wouldn't believe I did some crazy shit back in the day. And like when he says that, I'm kind of like, where's your bar? Because I feel like you did not, but I can't tell if he was way crazier than me or if he literally, because then I remember in high school, like one time after when it was like Sweet 16
I feel like
season
your
or
dad
something.
did crazy shit.
But I remember I came home from like prom or something like later
But it's like
in high
when?
school.
In dental school?
No, but wait. So no, my dad didn't get married until he was 36.
Oh, wow.
He had a long life before marriage and didn't have a kid till he was 45. Didn't have me till he was 52.
Wow.
My dad had a whole life.
Smart man.
Smart man. But let me finish. So he told me he does all this crazy shit. But then when it was like late in high school, I'd come back. I remember there's one time I came back from like a party or something, or I was about to go out to a party. And he was like, you drinking booze? And I was like, wait a minute. Like, this was when I was like, oh, my dad knows and we're not talking about it. But it was so obvious that I was. And the fact that he asked me in this way that was like genuinely curious, I was like, oh my God, was your idea of like doing crazy shit like smoking a spliff? Like,
Oh
what
my
was crazy for
gosh.
him? Because I've done some really repulsive things in my life already.
done some crazy shit.
I know, and then he's like, you wouldn't believe. I'm like, really though?
And you're like, I think I would. And then I think,
If I would tell him what I've done, he would disown me.
haven't they listened to your comedy?
But I've held that back. And even my comedy doesn't really go into it. They don't know about a lot of
My
things.
dad follows me on my Instagram.
But you don't really. I'm talking like some, like.
I mean, go into it.
No, I don't
Are you
wanna-
talking about like rub
Oh,
your
it's stopped
titties?
recording. No. But
Wait, it needs to be recording
wait,
for
the
that.
videos are recording. Wait, that's really funny. Should we talk about that?
Are you talking like? I'm gonna wait till people end it on. Are you talking like rub your titties? Like rub your titties about it? Like,
Anybody who saw my story, did you see this?
that's
Pete,
just
when
gonna
she
be
was
like just for 10 minutes. That is the dirtiest, most disgusting thing.
Well, when you had that black hat, let me explain it. So
I looked like a crackhead.
at this wedding, it was like all girls. First of all, the family was 6 sisters.
It was a les fest.
It was a
No, it was a straight up les fest. I didn't need to find a man at that wedding because
No.
I was a lesbian that night.
everybody was. It was just all women, and then like Cuban men, and that was it. And so back at the hotel when we're snorting Vyvanse, it's like still all girls, and we're all looking at our titties and stuff. Things girls do. But then you get to the conversation where everyone talks about like, I've been like exploring with it, like you hear,
Yeah.
and then you're like, and then I come
And
in
we're
with
all
like,
like-
well, I actually had a girlfriend. Like everybody goes
Yeah.
in about it, and then
And
that
I'm like, I
night-
dry hump when I was 5. Shout out to you.
bleeping that.
She'd love it.
No, she would love it. I made out with so many girls when I was in first grade. I was like a fuck boy in first grade. I'd bring girls over.
Talk about rubbing your titties.
Revenue cities. Okay, so it's me, Sophia, and these 2 other girls, one of which Rosette. So it was the 4 of us, and like we were all staying up late till like the sun rose, sitting in the parking lot, like just doing crazy like shit. And then we're going to bed, and we all slept in one bed, and we were like so dead tired by the time we were going to sleep. And this, by the way, the one girl who we're about to talk about was my brother's prom date. Like, so I'm very familiar with her.
Yeah, you're close with her.
I'm close
yeah.
with her. So, or like in that way.
Kind of, yeah.
Like my brother is.
Close
so
acquaintances.
We have the Kevin connection.
Yeah.
So we're all going to sleep in the same bed, obviously, because it's a hotel and we're wasted. And I'm falling asleep. And I like when we start waking up, I realize I was like snuggling Rosette. Like I had my arm over her. But
She was like,
it's not.
And the thing
weird.
is, like, I woke up and I was like, M's cuddling Rosette.
But here's the thing.
And she just like was totally spooned against her.
I was-
and I thought I saw this. Em was literally rubbing her titties. No. She was rubbing her titties.
That's not how it went down. That's not what happened. What happened was I was behind Rosette when we went to sleep. And first disclaimer, I am a cuddly sleeper. I'm a Taurus.
You're a cuddler.
And I told you how when I was home alone in Warren last weekend without John, I had insomnia, and I never get insomnia, and I couldn't fall asleep because I
Yeah.
didn't have someone to cuddle. So I am a cuddly sleeper, period. I can't fall asleep unless John rubs me to sleep or I'm like laying on his chest. So then we're at this wedding and I woke up. I'm behind Rosette. I'm on the edge of the bed. My right arm is just over her stomach like this. I was just holding Rosette, okay?
Or over her titties.
Oh, no, don't do that.
You
So
were
then-
so insecure about it too. You were like, do you think Rosette knew that?
Well, that's where the titties thing actually happened because we went to the diner with Rosette, me, you, and Rosette, and then Rosette left, and I said to you, I was like, Fee, I'm a little anxious. Do you think Rosette is weirded out that I was like cuddling her? And then Sophia was like, well, were you cuddling her or were you trying to? And then she did this motion, if you're not watching, where she took both of her hands and just looked as if, imagine you're spooning someone and you just immediately start rubbing their nipples. And she kept going with it. I was like, oh my God, Rosette totally thinks I was like trying to like rape her in her sleep. I was holding her.
You were just.
And then Sophia kept doing that, and it was. But anyway, I was really nervous that she was gonna think But like,
I
obviously,
mean, I think that we all like admitted that we're all a little bit lesbian, so it's fine.
but can we please, for my own sanity, remove the sexuality from the notion that I was cuddling
you're
her?
a cuddler.
Okay.
You're just a cuddler.
I explained it to
It's
John.
who you are.
I told John
Did
the story.
you tell John about
well,
it?
because he came home and he was like, because we were dying laughing about the nipple story on my the nipple thing on my Instagram story, the rubbing titties,
and he knew
came home.
exactly what it was.
He did, but when I came home, we were talking about it. He was like, "Yeah, what was that?" I didn't really get why it was so funny because in my stories I was like laughing so hard I couldn't breathe, and I told him I was like, "Well, I was cuddling with it, and I got nervous that she." So Sophia made fun of me and was like, "Were you trying to rub her titties?" And then John was laughing, but I could tell there was a hint in his face of like, "Were you trying to rub her titties?"
Because he knows. He knows.
He
He's
knows
like,
I'm a
Emily,
little gay.
Emily might be trying to rub her titties.
No, but it really did make me
You weren't
anxious.
trying to rub her titties. You weren't trying to rub her titties. Anyway, I do this thing.
What's your thing you do?
Okay, so I have my period right now, and I do this thing where I never buy tampons. So
Me neither.
I never buy tampons. I
refuse.
depend on everybody else
Me
to
too.
give me a tampon. So when I go into Macy's, I'm like, there's a lot of girls there. I'm just gonna go around and I'm gonna ask, and I kind of like, I look at someone and I'm like, they're gonna have the right tampon. Like I know the brand, you know, like I know like what kind. Are they gonna be super?
Oh my God.
Are they gonna be? Who is it?
It's John.
It's John.
John's home.
Wait, can I keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
So I know I don't have your attention now because John's
as soon as he
home.
walks in, you'll get my attention.
Come on, I'll rub your titties.
Why can't he get in?
He's struggling, and he needs his baby to let him in.
I guess so.
But it's not his baby;
Hi,
it's
sweetie.
Fate. Hi, John.
Hi, John. How you doing?
Okay, he doesn't want all the attention anyway.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So I depend on everybody else. And so I asked the girl who's across the way from me, I'm like, listen, I'm like, do you have a tampon? And she was just like, she was immediately embarrassed. And I like felt bad for asking her. I was like, oh
What that you asked?
yeah, I felt bad for asking because she was embarrassed. And she was like, I only have an ultra. And I was like, okay. And I
big
like
pussy.
being me, like I always try and be nice about things, you know? Like I'm like, oh good, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. She's like, right.
Yeah,
Like,
you
she
always try and make people feel good.
And she thought we were connecting in that moment. And she was like, right, like I don't have time for that. Like I want to keep it in all day. And I was like, yeah, okay.
An ultra, how big is that? Is that a dick size tampon?
So putting it
I've never worn an ultra.
putting it in is easy. Taking it out,
Is a headache?
I gave birth. I literally gave birth to a tampon. It was the worst experience of my life.
Oh my God.
And I was so thankful because like immediately like girls understand and they feel bad like when you ask for a tampon, they're like, you know, like we're a team. Like they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you got your period. Okay, don't worry, I have
Right,
you.
always.
And she gave me it, but like, fuck that. An ultra?
Well, I think it is probably always
It
easier to
literally
put something in.
stretched my vagina. It was like giving birth. It was like a small. It expanded to a small coconut.
I was gonna say if you were no
A small-
no. Give me a realistic example, like this candle.
Actually, that's so realistic.
This
And
was the tampon size.
that's a dick.
That's a penis.
If you don't-
that's the width of a penis.
If you don't want to be having sex, you don't.
When you're on your period.
Yeah. If you don't want to, like, you don't want to be having sex when you don't choose to have sex. Like, I don't want to take out a dick
yeah,
when I'm bleeding. Like, it
Yeah.
was so awful.
that's really painful.
So now I have to be careful with who I ask.
Yeah, well, the poor girl. I mean, when people even tell me they have a super plus only, I'm like, I'll just let my underwear.
Have
get
you ever
dirty.
used one?
a super plus?
A super plus.
No, I
Is an
don't
ultra
really.
bigger than a super plus?
Yeah,
This was an ultra.
I only wear tampons if I really have to.
That sounds.
I really don't like wearing them.
You don't wear tampons?
What
Do you
really,
do the Diva cup?
No,
That shit's gross.
I usually have to wear them though. I don't know.
Anyone
what I'm
who
saying.
does the Diva cup, like,
I
reevaluate.
Oh my God, I
your
could never
life.
do the Diva Cup.
That's
I was supposed
gross.
to do. I did a sponsored advertisement for one of those
Diva Cup?
when I worked at Babe, and I had to. I literally was so against it. And at the time, I wasn't getting my period because I was on birth control for so long that I had to pretend in the advertisement that I was putting it in my vagina.
Oh my God.
But really, it was like I couldn't even get it in. I didn't even have my. I lied that I had my period, and I had to make the sponsored video where I like had my period.
Oh my God.
And so I like stuck it in my vagina. It went like halfway through, and then I was like, I left it there, and I was like, it's in. but it was not up there.
Oh my god!
And I hear all these girls saying that they love the Diva Cup, and I'm like, do you really walk around all day with like a bowl?
What if you're in a stall and you have to take it out and then you have to wash that thing? Like you can't just put it back in your purse. Like you have to go out into out of the stall and wash the Diva Cup.
Well, I guess the idea is that you can wear it all day, so you don't have to wash it until you get home.
It's also a piece of rubber that you have to crumble up like a piece of paper.
It's like a massive condom with a hard ring.
With nails. I have nails. Can you imagine putting my nails in my? I mean, I already pinch my vagina trying to get a tampon out. Like it's always a little pinch.
Can I just say, I remember when I was with the girl last summer. I won't say her name. She used to say to me, like, I can't believe I don't feel your nails, because I had claws, and when I would finger her, she would say, like, she was like, you have to get some gay nails. But I would do a really good job, and she wouldn't feel it. So I don't believe you about the nails.
No, the nail. Well, you never had long nails like I used to.
I did.
Do
you remember my Jersey ass nails I used to have?
You didn't have coffin shape.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
Sophia, I remember you would always
You
say
also
to me,
don't
I
have
love
a
your
vagina
nail
like me, so how dare you come out?
I'm going to show you a picture of my old nails.
Okay, well, I'll show you a picture of my old nails. Like,
Okay,
what do you
dying to
think?
see your old nails.
I had little pointy Gaga nails because
Look
I
at them.
am
They're
Gaga.
they're in our Ovaltine video.
Yeah, I had long fucking nails. That must have been around Christmas because those were my Christmas nails.
Look at my nails. Look at my long coffin nails.
I don't.
I had. You
know what? We're not going to fight about this.
You
also don't have a vagina like me. I have an extra piece of my hymen that never got
Sophia.
I do.
Sophia.
You know what? That's really mean that you're gonna patronize me.
I'm not patronizing you
about my own vagina.
You know that I get faint and weak at the speaking of things like that.
Oh, because you never did you ever have your cherry popped?
I don't know if I did. I don't know if I even
You
ever had one.
to have your cherry popped.
Maybe I didn't have.
You could have been horseback riding. You could have been on the balance beam. You could have been anywhere.
Wait, I remember my neighbor when I was really little. She when we were like 5 years old, and I'll tell you her name and I'm gonna bleep it out. Emily Moglia. She was my neighbor, and so I remember when we were 5 years old, I was told I had to go on a play date with her because my mom was like, she got a really bad injury to her vagina, and here I am thinking like this girl's gonna die because she broke her vagina. When she was 5 years old, she fell off a bike and landed vagina first on the curb.
Oh my God.
And her cherry popped. That's all it was. But I was thinking like this girl.
Or her vagina was just bleeding because that's pretty excruciating, like what happened to her.
No, yeah.
Like that, you could bleed from that.
I had to go to her house and play Pilgrim with her. I was like, oh no.
You're like, no, why do I have to do this now?
I know. And it makes sense who she grew up to be that we were playing Pilgrim.
It makes sense that my cherry would pop the wrong way.
Yeah. Maybe that's why you get chronic yeast infections.
I don't really get them anymore. I haven't gotten one in a long time.
Actually, yeah. Now that I say that, I'm like, you don't
Fuck,
really.
I'm gonna get one now.
No, you don't believe in jinx, so don't say it. So the other night, I had another breakdown. But you were there for both of. Or no. If you remember a couple episodes ago,
I was there for both of them.
No, I had just told you about when I was like crying for no reason. Remember a couple episodes ago, I realized in the middle of it, I was like, why am I crying?
Every girl cries for no reason.
Right.
Yeah.
But so the other day I had another breakdown with you, and I realized afterward that it was because I was literally running on the post Vyvanse and the no sleep.
Yeah, no, it was the come down, and you were so scared of it. And I was like,
so
I have
scared
to
of it.
help her through this because I do Vyvanse all the time.
I know, and I and I had texted you, and I was like, Sophia, I'm not doing. No, I was like, are you up? And you were like, yeah, I'm watching. Like you had
I had my brown face on.
Yeah, and you texted me back some fun thing, and I was like, oh wow, nice. Or you were like, how, like something, and I said like, thank you.
And I said, oh no, you're sad.
You literally went back like, oh no, you're sad. And I went off on a breakdown
I
with
was
you.
in such a good place too. I was watching The Bachelor.
I know, that's what you had said to me. But I realized like it was just one of those moments where like I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Who am I? What do I want in this world?
Yeah.
Why do I hate myself and feel inadequate every day?
And we all feel like this all the time.
But here
that's
was
what
the
being an
crazy
adult is.
So I had this whole breakdown with you, and a lot of what I feel like 23 has been for me is like really feeling like everything's just happening to me because it all feels
victimizing yourself.
Yeah, and it all just like I feel like I've been feeling so many things in this like year of my life, and like even starting in 2019, feeling so many things of like a level of existentialism and like constant lingering dread that like little Emily never thought would ever be possible to feel.
Yeah.
Especially not even little Emily, like a year ago, I was like Miss Positive Queen of like, you know, and I still am to an extent.
You still are. I think that you're just spending a lot of your time not doing the things that you want to be doing. And I think,
my job that I do for money is not what I want to do for a career, which takes up 40 hours of my week for the most part. But nonetheless, it was really crazy because I had this big breakdown with you that you kind of talked me through. And I said to you, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And when you said to me, you were like, Em, you think I know what I'm doing?
Nobody knows what they're doing.
And I felt so stupid in that moment of like, how dare I think that like this is only happening to me, of like, I'm the only one who feels lost.
Well, that's why I had to say to you, I was like, oh, poor Em. She's so scared. She doesn't know where she's going. I'm like, how dare you? Like, I had to snap you back into shape because you, out of everyone, like, we know you're doing good. Like,
well, it was also funny because as soon as you talked to me,
it's cute of you to think that.
Well, thank you, and I'll still disagree. But as soon as you did say that to me, I remember I was in my bed and I was like, as soon as I got to feel better from you, I like fell asleep then with my phone.
I know that's what you did because immediately once you were like, thank you, Fee, you helped me so much, and then it was like, and then I sent some long thing and you stopped answering, and I was like, all right, and I put The Bachelor back on, and then like 20 minutes later, you were like, Fee, you're the best, blah 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 blah. I'm like,
because I had fallen asleep like, and then I text you back like, thank you for help me. Because
in my head I was like, John came with his dick out or something. He just had sex and she feels better now.
No, right. All I needed was a good dick in.
That was your breakdown last time.
That was But so then the next day it was crazy because I did a show the next day, and I was coming back on the subway to the Upper West Side with friends of mine. And we were talking. Jamie was one of them.
Yeah.
Everyone
love Jamie.
We've mentioned Jamie all the time.
She was in episode 1
and mentioned in 2 and 3 and 4 and 5,
every
6,
single
7,
episode that we've ever had. Hey, Jamie.
So we were talking, and it was me, her, and 2 other girls, and we were talking, and someone had mentioned like that they joked about like, don't you ever just want to just jump in front of the subway train?
Oh,
and then I
or
said,
like steer right off the side of the road.
Yeah, whenever I drive a car, I'm like, I could just kill myself.
I always think about that, and that's like. You have to be careful though, because when you go to your first day of therapy, right?
Do not tell them that.
Never tell them that. Yeah. You'll be sent to the hospital. If they're like, have you ever thought about killing yourself? You're like, well, I drive on the road sometimes, and I think about just like, driving in front of a tractor trailer. Well, they will send you away.
That's like, and I know.
Big mistake.
I know.
I got sent away.
Yeah, you did. When you were 16.
Think about that.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
The world hates...
I'm embarrassed about it.
No, I don't think you are. You don't need to be. You got it over with when you were
quick.
young.
I'm lucky I was young.
Like, a lot of people go through it in their 20s.
Just don't tell your doctor about it.
Right. The much hated Louis C.K. had a joke where he was like, you can't... And people tell you think about killing yourself, and you're like... Well, yeah, but I can't tell you, otherwise you'll push a button and all the people will come in, But anyway, so this girl was saying, like, sometimes, like, don't you ever just think about, like, and me and her had just smoked my pen, so we were, like, kind of laughing about how depressed we were. And I was like, or I don't really think I'm depressed, but whatever.
You're not depressed.
We
said in the last episode, your soul is sunshine.
It is sunshine. So I was saying to this girl, she was like, I think about jumping in front of it. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, last night I had this, like, major breakdown of, like, who am I? What am I doing in life? And one of the other girls was like, really? You? And it just taught me, like, what you see is not what you get. Like, do not judge a book by its cover. And, like, yes, I am a very positive person, but, like, it amazed me that she was so surprised that, like, I, too, could be feeling these things of, like, who am I?
You get down on yourself, but I think it's really easy for you to tap back into sunshine and realize, like, I'm not.
Me?
Yeah. Like, for you, you're not a depressed person. Even when we went to the gynecologist. Like, remember they were doing depression scans.
Yeah, and they did it for me.
And they did it for you. But how bullshit was that? It was only 3 questions. It was like, do you get sad?
Yeah, I was like, have you in the last week once or twice thought about if you do not want to be on this earth?
It was so stupid. I was
Yeah.
like, if anyone is going to kill themselves, this is not going to save
This is not
them.
how you're going to find out.
Being at your OBGYN and getting asked 3 questions about wanting to kill yourself is not going to save your life. I'm going
Sophia
to tell you
obviously came with me to the OBGYN.
that. Yeah, of course.
'Cause she comes with
well, I
everything.
am an OBGYN. Basically.
Because of what, like how much you Google.
Brazilian waxer.
Pete's like, what?
Brazilian
Oh,
waxer.
you have seen a lot of pussy.
Well, I've seen as much pussy as probably any OBGYN.
Actually, yeah.
And I will continue to see pussy for the rest of my life because I will always be able to do that.
Yeah, you will always wax.
So I'll always see
I
as
need to
much
wax.
pussy. Yeah, I could do it.
Okay.
Because that's what I am.
That's
I'm
what
an
you do.
OBGYN. And I was asking all the good questions. The OBGYN was
You
like,
were.
you should keep this friend. She's good for you.
They all did say that.
They did say that.
I always, when I'm at the gyno, I'm like, I always go to the gyno, I'm like, finally, all my worries of all the cancers I have are going to be gone. And then they spend like 30 seconds max touching me.
I
And they're like,
know.
well, you're all good. And I'm like, huh?
Well, that's
you
how-
didn't really look,
well,
you know?
but you got a pap. I mean, but
What,
you
they swab my pussy and
but
put it in a
that's
water
why
that
when
turns
I go,
blue?
I'm like, do the works for me. You know, give me all the blood tests, give me the swabs, give me everything. I'll pee. I want the urine. I want the blood,
Oh, I
and I
didn't
want
do
the
the
swab.
urine.
You need it all. You
I
need
could
to
be
know
pregnant and not know
for
it.
sure. All mine came back clear. I'm always so surprised too. I'm like, how did all mine come back
I know.
clear?
I was waiting to hear like, well, we did feel something like that. I'm like always waiting to hear that. She did a breast test on me, and I was like, because my mom had breast cancer. My mom's always like, make sure you do your self exams.
Yeah.
and I don't. And then my dad's like, shouldn't
How
you
are
be getting
ever gonna
mammograms?
Feel it yourself though.
I don't know. And I get random pains 24/7. Like I was at work today,
do
and like my
too.
tit hurt for like 15 minutes straight.
I get tit pain all the time.
I know, but like, how is that just like part of not being a teenager anymore? Is you just get pain everywhere?
Well, no, it's usually like women never have a fucking minute to not be in pain, you know? Like we're either ovulating or we're about to get our period, we're post period. We're always like in the midst of
Could
just
it be stress? Could stress affect your
fuck
titties?
stress. I'm so sick of like there not being an actual
answer?
like explanation for anything.
I know. Whenever my psoriasis breaks out and I go to the dermatologist, they're like, "Well, are you stressed?"
Well, tell me my fucking
I'm like, I'm always yes, no.
Well, my explanation is stress and dust. Like, how do you think I feel? Like stress and dust. That's bullshit.
You texted me. Sophia texted me today. It was like, I'm allergic to dust, and I was like the rest of the world who sneezes when you
Everybody's
dust bunny their
allergic
face.
to dust. It's like saying you're allergic to poison ivy. Everybody is allergic to
Yeah.
it. There's like a few that aren't, but everybody's allergic to it. Even when I was getting the CAT scan, I thought for sure there was going to be something wrong with my head. I was like, I've been getting all these headaches. There's going to be something wrong with my brain.
Yeah, you've had a lot of issues.
When I went there, well, first of all, the CAT scan didn't even come back normal because I couldn't fucking get my piercings out. When I got my nose piercing, I got it done in LA.
You actually took them out.
Well, I took out the ones that I could. And still they were like, even with the piercings, we don't think there's anything wrong. But this one I can't get out because when I got it done, I was like, it keeps falling out. So they were like, okay, you have to come to one of our piercing parlors in order to be able to get it out. So they have a special screw to get it out. So I'm stuck with this fucking nose ring for life.
Oh, I have that on my cartilage. It's like a flat back.
It's a flat back, and
Yeah, I
I
have
cannot get it off. And then my industrial, I don't even want to try because
Don't.
this shit, I hemorrhaged from my ear. I remember I slept over my ex-boyfriend's house for the first time, and I woke up in the middle of the night. I was like, and I couldn't hear.
What
I
were
thought
you
I
like?
was deaf. I thought I was deaf.
I hate when people do that, but I had to.
I literally I woke up and there was blood dripping down my face. It was my industrial earring literally bleeding out. I
You
was
woke up in
hemorrhaging.
blood.
So there was no way I was taking that out before I get my CAT scan.
Well,
I was like, do you want to see me hemorrhage right now? No.
well, no, I don't think it would do that if you took it out. I
I'm
think
not
if
even-
you re-pierced it again, it would.
It was the first and second time I hemorrhaged, and I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah, I would.
Someone at
advise
work
against.
just got it, and they were bleeding. They had a little Band-Aid on their ear. I remember I was taking clients. They were like, you're bleeding, and it's dripping off your chin. I was like, I know. Just let me finish the
Pete,
wax.
do you have any tattoos? No, you have tattoos.
I have tattoos, and I'm going to get more.
You are?
Definitely. I look like, you look at me, and you're like, that girl should have tattoos, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
You have your little ocean wave.
I have my ocean wave. I have a sun and a moon that looks like it was
Your
drawn
little
by...
things coming off.
Oh. I have a sun and a moon that looks like it was drawn by a 10-year-old, and then I have
No.
it does.
I like your sun.
I mean, I paid $25 for it because I was desperate.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like, just give me this tattoo. I want to be tatted.
Wait,
and then I have
you
a
paid
Scorpitarius.
only $25 for it?
I went to a really shitty place, and I was like, "Don't give me hepatitis," and they were like, "Okay." Yeah,
That's a risk.
it is a risk,
But hey, it's
but
a
living
cute
on the
tattoo.
edge, and now I have a sun and a moon. That could be why I'm sick. And then I have a Scorpitarius.
That's my favorite one on
You
the
like
back
the
of your
Scorpitarius?
neck.
And I'm gonna get a rose either on my finger or I'm gonna get a rose on the side of my
I don't
boob.
know how I feel about finger tattoos.
I want one.
I think I feel like I would just feel like I need to wash my hands all the time.
I kind of want like a henna-looking tattoo all over my hand.
For life?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Forever?
well,
This is
my
the Jew in
and
me.
my
It's like,
no,
you sure you want to ruin God's
my body
gift
is
to you?
a vehicle,
Right. I
So
forgot
it's
about
just
that.
gonna get me.
Isn't that what you want to get tattooed on yourself?
Yeah, but everyone said it. Yeah, everybody said that it sounds like I'm gonna get gang raped.
It does. It sounds like you're opening yourself
But
to
okay,
all
well,
the
my
penis.
body is a shell. It's just my shell, and I have my soul inside, and I'm gonna decorate it the way I want to, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it.
See, Jews look at bodies very differently. Jews look at
Are
bodies
you
like
really like a Jew like that though?
kind of a little bit.
You're not like. Are you preparing for Rosh Hashanah right now?
No, but it's not about like I'm more of like a spiritual Jew. I'm not like a practicing Jew. I'm Jewish in that
the camera's
Oh,
dead.
the battery died. It's okay. I'm Jewish in the way where I believe in the principles of Judaism and I believe in God. I think it feels weird saying
believe
that
in
because
a-
I feel like everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, she's one
I
of those."
believe in a higher power. You know.
Yeah, I
I
call
believe
it-
in like high frequencies and low frequencies.
Oh no, I believe in like a
I
supernatural.
believe in source energy.
Oh no, mine's not an energy. Mine's like I believe in like a god.
Okay.
I'm a monotheist.
Oh, okay. You believe in a god.
Yeah, and that feels naturally embarrassing to say.
Oh my
because I
god,
live
you
in
should
New York.
never be embarrassed about your faith.
Do you think it's weird when people say like I believe in God, or not really?
Do you
Not really.
definitely like think of them in a different way?
Are you atheist, Pete? You are.
You're atheist? You believe in like nothingness, like nothing?
He believes in science.
Oh, you're the science guy. Okay.
My thing is just like I just don't think that this
Science
is all.
makes a lot of sense. There's no way. That's the thing. Like
To
you
me, I'm
can't-
like, there's no way this all just happened. But
do you
then
believe
I
in
go,
the Big Bang?
Do you believe in the Big Bang? I believe in the Big Bang.
I don't know enough about anything to know.
I kind of believe in the Big Bang, but then I also go like, but who banged?
I believe in just energy, but who banged?
You know,
I believe
like
in
someone hit a
energy,
gong
though.
and then it all.
Like, do you ever just like breathe in, breathe out, and then just feel your body and like the energy around it?
Yeah, but that's not God.
But it's just life, and it's like your soul.
No, I think, but
and it's
see,
tapping into your soul.
if you actually studied up on Judaism, a lot of what Judaism's principles are believing in the little beauties in life. And like
I
the
know
little
this
things-
episode needs to end because I was about to drink my microphone.
You want another
I was
sip?
like, no, that's not right.
You were like, tell me about Judaism.
Okay, thank you so much for watching Guffanti Brunettes. Emily's talking about Judaism, and
I'll
I
go
need her to
on.
stop.
I'll go on about Hebrew school.
She's gonna keep going.
I'll give you a lesson.
Ashira ladonai ki gaoga.
Wow, that's not it, but the melody was close.
Do you know what it is, though?
No.
Well, it's Hebrew, so you should.
I always
Fake
get,
Jew.
Oh, what? What did you say? Fake Jew?
Fake Jew.
No, I'm not a fake Jew. I got bar mitzvah.
Oh, you always got so touchy about this.
I do get touched.
You're
'cause
a
I
real
feel-
Jew, Em.
I am a real Jew.
You are. I know that.
I protect.
And I love you for it.
My
You're like
religion.
as real as Matisyahu.
Who's that?
A fake Jew. He was Hasidic for a really long time. He was a singer.
Oh, modesty. Oh my God, I totally know who that is.
I wish you got it.
I think I'm more of a Jew in the way that I carry out my life in a Jewish way, and a lot of my beliefs align with the beliefs of Judaism. But if you tell me like, oh, it's Russia, are you going to eat apples and honey for Russia? It's like, no.
You don't believe in like the
I'm
rituals of
culturally
Judaism.
Jewish.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't need to go to temple to prove it.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, if you know what the belief system.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam.
So how are you going to
asher
tell me
kasharanu
Ashira
mikol
Allah Adonai was
ha'amim.
wrong?
Ashir Allah Adonai.
It's let us sing. Ashira ala donai kiga oga.
I don't know, saying Allah and then Adonai feels like two religions.
I know, and they were mixed in, but at the end of the day, they're all the same.
What's the line you say in Spanish?
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
When we were at the Cuban wedding, she said, I know one thing in Spanish, because our whole table was Cuban. And she said,
And they were
please
like,
stand
"It does
clear of the
mean
closing
please."
doors.
They were like, that's
They were
right.
like, good. And I was like, ¿Puedo ir al baño? Yeah, was it
And I was like, hola. This is
we gotta
great.
cut it off. Thank you for listening to Guffanti Brunettes.
Till next time.
Till
Goodbye for now.
Subscribe, rate, listen, review, comment, love.
Link down below.
Guffanti!
Guffanti!